What's good, Green Thumbs? My name is John Moody, and this is the Johnny Learns Gardening YouTube channel. In today's video, we are going to sow some strawberry seeds. Let's do it. So, today's date is Sunday, December 14th. It is 9:43 a.m. It is 10 degrees outside. It feels like -1. So, I am not doing too much outside. Please forgive my messy basement. And yeah, that's what we're going to do. This is where we're going to do it. This is how we're going to do it. So let's begin. All right, so these are the items that we're going to start with. I got my milk jug. This is actually a Yates apple cider jug, but you get the idea. I have a nail, a mallet, a utility knife, and a pair of scissors. So, first thing we're going to do is we are going to poke some drainage holes in the bottom of this container. Hopefully, it works out better than my last winter sowing video did, but this is one of the things that I forgot to do. I skipped this step when it should have been the first step. So I just got my nail and I'm just poking some holes. This will allow any moisture to escape. I'm sure there are easier way to do this, but this is how I do it. And then if you want to make the holes a little bigger, you can stick something a little bigger than the nail, and then should be good enough for drainage. So nothing fancy, pretty straightforward. That's about it. Now that that's out of the way, now we have to make our cut. So it's when you grab your utility knife, and then right by the handle is where you start. Please be very careful. And we'll start at the bottom of where the handle attaches to the jug, and then we'll go all the way around. This is so much easier. Last year I remember it being so much more difficult. And you don't want to cut it completely off, but just enough here so that it leaves a hinge. And then you can make your hinge as loose or tight as you like, but I think that's good enough for me. And this is what we're left with. Next, so again, please excuse the mess, but I have not touched this since I made some seed starting mixes last year. So the contents of the container are peat moss, vermiculite, and perlite. I made a whole video on that. I will leave a link in the description. But anyway, this is my leftover cocoa coir, leftover peat moss, and inside here is the leftover seed starting mix. And of course, as to be expected, it is bone dry. But this is what I'm going to fill my container with. Still got my little cup in here. Dusty. Still smells good though. So this is what we got to work with. Now, because the soil is so bone dry, we are going to have to rehydrate it first. So this is how I'm going to do that. Wait a minute. Not done. Just using some regular old tap water. Now I realize my holes, my drainage holes, are quite small, but the idea is that the soil will soak up this moisture and then in turn rehydrate. So we'll give it some time to see how long it takes to rehydrate itself with the amount of water that I put in here. All right, so it's only been about 10 minutes. And hold on, let me check to see if my mic is on. All right, cool, it's on. So, like I was saying, it's only been about 10 minutes. I can't really tell how much it's actually soaked up, but I'm getting pressed for time because Ben just woke up. So, what I did was, I have this spray bottle. I last used this for some weed killer. When I was pouring it out, I smelled the vinegar and it was a little soapy. I only had a little bit left, but I rinsed it out really well. So hopefully it won't cause me any problems. But that's another thing for a Christmas wish list is some more spray bottles. But anyway, I'm just gonna go ahead and dampen the soil here. So the thing about peat moss, I don't remember exactly what was said, but something has to do with its ability to retain the water. So when I made it, I added enough water, so hopefully it should still be okay theoretically, but I don't know. And we are here to find out what happens. So right here, I got my red and white strawberry mix. If you guys saw my last Amazon opening video, you would have seen what all I got. But anyway, the purpose of today's video is for these particular seeds. The other seeds that I got, I'll be doing the exact same thing, but we're gonna do the strawberries first. So I'm just gonna go ahead and snip it. Then I'm gonna go ahead and pour some out. Same thing, I don't know much about the company. They are so tiny. That's probably a good 20 seeds. I didn't necessarily mean to plant this many, but we will see how it goes. So because they're so small, you don't even really need to dig any holes. Now I'm trying to not overcrowd it, but at the same time, you don't know what seeds are going to germinate and what aren't. So I guess the best practice is to plant numerous. In a lot of my previous seed planting videos, I will plant 2 or more seeds in each planting hole. But for this, we're just spreading out a little bit. I can't even tell where they're falling. And like I said, they're so tiny and small that I don't know how good these seeds really even are. But anyway, that's that. Could you sprinkle some more soil on? Yes, I guess you could. Am I going to? No, I guess I'm not. What I'm going to do is give it another little spray, and we'll call it a day. That's that. And of course, I don't know what I did with my roll of duct tape, but we're going to need to secure this. And what I found was this roll of painter's tape. So hopefully it works out just fine. I understand painter's tape probably isn't as water resistant as duct tape, but it's what I got, so it's what I'll use. And I'll just go all the way around. That is that, my friends. Nothing fancy, kind of sloppy, but ultimately, it's really all that needs to be done. So I should label it, but I don't want to press on it too much. And because of this video, we will already know that this Yates Cider Mill gallon container contains my white and red strawberry seeds. Now to place it outside. Alrighty, here we are. And I have not made a what I'm doing to winterize my garden video because winter came so fast. All of this stuff is so icy. Snickers is crazy. But I'm just going to go ahead and put this right there. So the winterizing process has begun. All right, that's all for this one, folks. Thank you all very much for watching. Until next time, take care now. Bye-bye then.